Great. So now what we're going to talk about is the methodology for kind of assessing the size and the placement of those bubbles on the GE and the McKinsey matrix. So the first thing you have to do is you have to choose the attractiveness criteria, and I'm going to talk about that in just a second. Then you need to weight those criteria. I'll show you how to do that in the video after this one. Choose your grading scale, and then grade your strategic business units based on each criteria, attractiveness criteria, and then you calculate a weighted attractiveness. So the first thing that we're going to do is actually talk about the attractiveness criteria, and there are a ton of them. So we've got attractiveness criteria. So attractiveness criteria. So some of the attractiveness criteria could be things like market factors. Market factors include things like size of the market, annual growth rate, internationalization potential, a degree of maturity, cyclicality, seasonality. Then you've got synergy factors. So with synergy factors, you've got shared image, shared cost, valorization of key or distinctive competencies, and also the inverse demand cycle. You've got technological factors. For technological factors, you've got stability of technologies, okay? Also application potential of the technology. Socio-economic factors. Things like factor cost volatility, exchange rate volatility impact, environmental risk, pressures from consumer associations, and also pressures from labor organizations. You've got industrial factors. Things like industrial factors include things like scale economies, entry barriers, low risk of substitution, low competitive intensity, low buying power of suppliers and low buying powers of clients. Think of the 5 forces model. Okay. Then you've also got things like laws and regulations. Product laws and regulations, process laws, regulation, taxation, foreign trade, etc. Now you may be wondering, well, where can I come up with some of these things? Well, we talk about industrial factors. You have things like the 5 forces. Things like market factors, certainly laws and regulations, and socioeconomic factors. You know that you would get, oh, and also the, technological factors you could get, for example, through a pest analysis. With regards to, what's the one I didn't talk about, synergy factors. Well, where would you get those things? Maybe you could be looking at maybe from more of a resource-based view of strategy. Things like brand value or marketing plan may also be worth looking at. You could also get some of these ideas also from the pest analysis. So these are the attractiveness criteria. What I'm going to do in the next video is show you how these things are actually weighted to come up with a value. So I'm looking forward to seeing you then.